Good guy.
Okay, we're sitting here in the Kootenays with Tom Renny, the new coach of the great Edmonton Oilers. Where did you grow up from in Cranbrook, or what's your minor hockey past and all that?
Well, I'm originally from Cranbrook and born and raised there, and played all my minor hockey there right up into junior B, and then I left Cranbrook to go away and go to school. But those are my roots, and as with most of the Kootenays, pretty good hockey town.
Right. Cranbrook had junior B, the Colts then? Is that what it
Colts.
was?
Yeah, the old Cranbrook Colts, yeah.
Yeah, it's fading there too. Like, did you, in minor hockey, Kimberley used to,
Yeah.
now they combine, like things are really...
Yeah, it's changed a lot. When I was growing up, Kimberley was a big rival, Fernie was a big rival,
Right.
without a doubt, and then we would come to the West Kootenay, and it was Trail and Nelson, always a real big rival there, but as time goes on, things have
it's really slim. Well, here too, actually.
Yeah, it's the same thing everywhere.
So then you went to college. Did you play hockey in college?
I actually went to the University of Victoria, and for a year, and I'd been recruited by a couple of schools in the States to go down and play hockey on scholarships, and I decided that I was at 5'10", not big enough to be an NHL defenseman, which was one of my aspirations for sure. But I decided after my first year at UVic to contact those schools again, and North Dakota was good enough to bring me back in on a scholarship, and I played there for a bit.
So growing up, I just want to know what your favorite team was, so that we can get over and done with. But like the honest to goodness truth, right?
This is the truth. My favorite team growing up was the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh my goodness!
And if I wasn't coaching in the NHL, and having to be a huge alliance with the current team, I'd probably still be a Montreal Canadian fan.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Yeah. Because now that you're the coach, you can't be a fan of them? Yes, you can.
I can be a fan of the game, and I am, but no, they're a rival now. Steal 2 points from Montreal any chance I get.
It's not as easy in Montreal as it is in Toronto either.
No.
How did you end up getting here to Balfour here where you're at?
Well, my wife is from Nelson.
Oh yeah.
And she knows this area quite well, and I met Glenda quite a while ago, obviously, 27 years of marriage to this point, so, and everything's good, but I knew her brothers. I played hockey against a couple of her brothers and attended some training camps with them, and so I sort of knew Glenda, and just by chance was able to meet her, and with her family still here, and me in Cranbrook, knowing a little bit about Kootenay Lake in this area, we felt that it would be a real good place to look for a summer home, and mission accomplished.
Yeah, too bad about your place here. You'll get over it though.
We have
what
work
about
to
kids?
do. I've got 2 daughters actually, and they're older now. And, one is taking her master's degree at University of Victoria, and the other one is in fashion design in Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
Hey, who was your wife's, she's from a hockey family?
She's a Gare.
Oh,
okay.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Oh, so you went to training, in college or something, like
went
Danny Gare or something?
With Ernie in Medicine Hat and in Vernon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, then was Glenda part of that whole Hockey Day in Canada? They had the Gare family there?
No, she wasn't. We were out in New York, obviously, so she wasn't from here. But her younger sister Jennifer had an awful lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Because we interviewed somebody. Maybe...
It might have been Jennifer.
Yeah, but was there like a mum? Or?
It might have been a mum.
Kathy.
Yeah, that's who it was.
That's the matriarch for
Yeah,
sure.
that's who it was.
Yeah,
that's what I remember too.
That's Momsy.
Okay, so then now you're obviously in coaching. How did that all get started?
Well, it started pretty quickly into my playing career. I knew at some point in time I'd have to pursue coaching if I wanted anything to do with the National Hockey League, for example, and I always aspired to be a part of Team Canada, quite honestly, the national team.
Right.
I had met Father Bauer at my minor hockey banquet in Cranbrook when I was 12 years old, and I sort of figured out then that I'd want to play for my country if I could. And then as time went on and things evolve and you are what you are, I decided pretty early that I wanted to try to coach Canada's national team if I could. And I was fortunate enough to do that after Dave King left to go to the National Hockey League himself. I moved from Kamloops, from the Blazers, into the national team in Calgary, and was fortunate enough to do the Olympics in '94 in Lillehammer, and I've done 9 or 10 World Championships and Olympics and those types of things now for Canada. And of course that leads to other opportunity if you have some decent success. So here I am.
Well, I was kind of interested how you ended up in Kamloops, because that's a pretty lofty...
Well, it was. I was coaching Junior B at the time in Invermere, the old Columbia Valley Rockies, as they were called, and Ken Hitchcock was in Kamloops. And I had decided to leave to coach Penticton in the BC Junior Hockey League at the time. And shortly after doing that, BC Amateur Hockey in Victoria came to see me and asked if I would come to Victoria and run their program of excellence there, because Bobby Nicholson, the current president of Hockey Canada, was going to Ottawa to do that job. And so I left to go to Victoria, and I really missed coaching. And Ken Hitchcock called me one day and said, "I'm moving on to the pro ranks, and I'd like to recommend you for my job here in Kamloops." And that was in 1990. And I met with Bob Brown, the general manager at the time, shortly after that, and they offered me the job, and I spent 2 great years in Kamloops.
Yeah.
And
was Brian Fortin around back then?
Brian Fortin was there. He was scouting for us. Yeah.
Right. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
He's with Minnesota Wild now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
scout,
guy.
Good guy. Real good guy. Yeah.
Kamloops, there's 4 coaches have coached there that are in the NHL. Can you name them?
Ken Hitchcock, Don Hay, myself, and Dean Evison.
5.
Oh. I can't remember number 5 then.
Bill LaForge.
Oh, Bill, that's right. Yeah.
Do you know about Bill?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Do you know Bill?
Oh, I don't know. No, I know him. I've talked to him on the phone a great deal, and I certainly knew of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping you had a good story about him. He's pretty
I'm
good.
not going to tell you those stories.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
But
that would be second.
It's all good about Bill, though. He's a good guy.
Real passionate guy.
Yeah, and he's not here.
Yeah.
Okay, the president of the Darcy Tucker fan club lives in Caslow, and he's not all there, but you coached him in Kamloops.
Darcy,
right?
Yes, I did. I sure did.
Yeah, you didn't coach the president of his fan club, that's for sure. Tell us, go ahead, say something good about Darcy.
Well, there's not a lot you can say bad about Darcy. He's just a super competitor. Tough kid, pound for pound is one of the tougher guys I've ever coached, for sure. Good leadership skills, no question about that. A winner.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Scott Niedermeyer. You had him there too.
Yeah, one of the very best players I've ever coached. Huge talent, great instincts for the game, gifted guy, and a really, really good human being.
Right. Where did Rob Niedermeyer play? Medicine Hat?
He played Medicine Hat.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's one that I don't think you coached, but Robin Bawa. You know that name?
I do. He was before me.
You know why I'm bringing that up?
And one tough guy.
So that we all, because he was one of our cameraman's people here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, nothing but real good things I've heard.
Yeah.
Of him.
I think he was more in the Bill LaForge area.
That's right. He was before me, and Hitch had him for a bit. But,
right. Tough. Yeah.
Very tough. Real good teammate.
Indian.
Real good guy.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some other people, and they're curious to know if Edmonton played Toronto, like in September, who will win that?
Well, Edmonton would win.
Simply, yeah. Okay, thank you. That's good for that.
Hey,
okay, so
it's a dumb question.
Okay, so I got a question here of. So in between the WHL and the NHL, you coached our national team, and from the national team, you went. How did you get to the NHL?
Well, I went to Vancouver.
Okay.
After the '96 World Championships, I'd spoken with Pat and George McPhee in Vancouver, and went to interview for the head coaching job.
Pat
there.
Quinn was there then.
Yeah. I'd had a couple going at the time. I had Phoenix, Toronto, and Vancouver all going at the same time, and Cliff Fletcher had offered me the Toronto job, head coaching job, and Vancouver was my next interview, and I had to tell Cliff that, and being my home province and close to everybody I know here, and looking at the roster and whatnot, I thought Vancouver would probably be a better fit for me, so I went to Vancouver.
Oh, good.
Hey, wait. Sorry, I just gotta interrupt you. You know how Glenn asked you the question if Edmonton plays Toronto, who'd win?
Yes.
Last year, how many times did Edmonton and Toronto play?
Just run the camera.
Played 4 times.
4 times. And who won?
See, I was a Ranger at the time.
Yeah.
So
you don't know? Do you know?
I could have cared less.
Yeah, that's right.
Oilers,
well, one. That ain't bad out of 4 there,
do
buddy.
Know?
Way to bring it up.
Do you know? I asked you.
No, I think the Oilers won 3. Okay, you coached Sean Avery.
Yeah, I did.
And I know you were coaching him when he was using that. He was screening Martin Brodeur.
Yeah.
How did you chit chat with him about that after, or?
Not to that extent, but we talked about making sure that we were in his kitchen. Brodeur's a great goaltender.
What did you think of that?
It was entirely instinctive and impulsive, and it was within the rules of the game.
That's right.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, and